Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you guys one example on the normal distribution. So this is example 10 from chapter 15. And it would be very helpful if you watch this video before doing your exercise 15H. Okay, so after watching this video, exercise 15H should be okay. And I hope you guys have watched the videos that I listed over here. I hope you guys have watched them. So on the study guide, you can see that I have listed down sort of the list of videos in sequence about what is the normal distribution. And we talked, the first video is about the Galton board, and you can see that there is a sense of binomial distribution in there. If you haven't thought about it, how is the binomial distribution involved in this setup, in this Galton board setup? Okay, and the bell curve is just kind of this red curve that we see here, this orange or brown curve that we see. We call that shape a bell curve. And I wanted you guys to discuss how or why is the math behind that makes this curve in such a shape. Why is it true that sort of the middle section is always higher, and as I go towards the left or as I go towards the right, I have less values. Okay, so I hope you guys kind of put some thought into it. I hope you guys had discussion with your friends already, and feel free to talk to me. Right? Feel free to have those discussions with me as well. Now, the previous two videos, one it's about what's kind of the concept of binomial distribution, and video C tells us what is a standard normal distribution. Okay, so. And this is the standard normal distribution is very, very useful. If you don't know why it is useful, come talk to me. Right? Cool. So you can see that this is the video you guys are watching right now. And after this video, you'll be able to do these exercises. So let's get started. So we have Z, and that means we have a standard normal distribution. Okay? And if I'm talking about standard normal distribution, my mean is always 0, and my variance is always 1. If my variance is 1, my standard deviation is also equal to 1. Keep in mind that my variance is simply standard deviation squared, or you can say square root of variance is equal to my standard deviation. Okay, so these are not new. We learned about this before, and just kind of keep that in mind. All right. But for when you are writing a normal distribution or a standard normal distribution, make sure you have the mean and the variance. Okay, the mean and the variance. All right, so let's look at A. Probability of -2 is less than Z is less than 1. What does this actually mean? All right, so I'm gonna type this down. That means, what is the probability? The probability of two standard deviation away. What is the probability that you have something, your random variable, being 2 standard deviation below your mean, up to 1 standard deviation above the mean. Okay, so that's what that whole chunk represent. Let me move this. Okay, so by saying this, they're asking us to find the probability of two standard deviation below the mean and all the way up to 1 standard deviation above the mean. So if you're talking about the bell curve, so let me try to draw this. So to the part A, and when we are talking about the normal distribution, it always it always helps. It always helps to draw a bell, to kind of just do a sketch, even though if your sketch is as ugly as mine here. So let's say this is my mean. My mean is always going to be in the center. This is my mean. Let's say today this is my first standard deviation away. This is my 2 standard deviation away. Alright, this is 1 standard deviation away. This is minus 2 standard deviation away. This is 1 standard deviation away above. This is 2 standard deviation above. And then this is my probabilities. Okay? So what they're asking us is this. From -2, so I have this part, all the way up to here. So we're talking about this whole area here. As you guys have learned from the videos that I listed out for you guys, the area underneath this bell curve is the probability. So what we're talking about here is exactly what I put down here over here. Okay, so what is the probability of that? Okay, so as I mentioned to you guys in class several times, it is always good, and we should always try to understand the concept or the context of the question. Okay, so if you're not sure, always just do a quick sketch. It took me 30 seconds to draw this, and I'm sure you guys can do a better job than I can. Right? So this is what they're asking us. So let's try to find the probability using our GDC. So please have your GDC ready and just follow along. Clear everything. Okay, so when we're talking about normal distribution, in fact, we're talking about standard normal distribution. So if you go to second distribute or second bars, that will bring us to distribution. You can see a lot of stuff. In the past, we came across binary PDF and binary CDF, but right now we're talking about normal distribution. So it's your number 2, normal CDF. Okay, we're going to use normal CDF a lot. Your lower is -2. Your upper is 1. Your mean. Remember, we're talking about standard normal distribution, so your mean is 0. Your standard deviation, not variance, okay? This is standard deviation. It is 1. And if you just paste it, and you get that. Some of you guys might have to type this in manually, but just use your comma. Just use a comma. Be careful, okay? Be careful with your comma. Put that in, and my answer is 0.819 approximately. So 0.819, approximately 0.819. Okay, so that's for part A. Let's look at part B. I want you guys to pause the video, and try to make a sketch of your bell curve for part B. Try to shade the part that we're looking at. Okay, so pause the video and go ahead and do that. Okay, your sketch should look something like this. All right, so they want us to find the probability where you have less than one standard deviation from the mean. So this is my 1 standard deviation. Less than 1 means I'm going to go look at the left, right? So everything on the left of that. Now, when you're using the GDC for this, it is a little bit different. It's a little bit special. So think about this. When we will ask, let's go to the normal distribution, normal CDF. They will ask us for our lower and upper bound, right? Now, what's our lower bound going to be? My upper bound is obviously, my upper bound is just going to be 1. My upper bound is 1, so maybe you can do that first, or we can't. So, but just keep in mind your upper bound is going to be 1. Now, what's your lower bound going to be though? Your lower bound should be negative infinity. In fact, the bell curve on the left and on the right, they will keep on going until negative infinity to the left and positive infinity to the right. So when I'm putting my values in, I should type negative infinity, but we can't because there's no that button, there's no infinity button on the calculator, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to use a very big value, such as negative 10 to the power of 99. That's very big already, right? All the way up to, this is just 1. And since we're talking about standard normal distribution, mean is 0, standard deviation is 1, paste it, and your answer is going to be approximately 0.841. Approximately 0.841. Okay? Hope you guys get that. So we're using this 10 to the power blah 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 to kind of symbolize the infinity or negative infinity. Okay? I'll do C and D, and I will leave part E for you guys. So for C, I'll have they want us to find the probability where you are negative 1.5 standard deviation above. You're above negative 1.5 standard deviations. So pause the video, make your sketch, and let's see if our sketches match. Okay, welcome back. So I hope you guys have made your sketch, and your sketch is somewhat close to what I have here. So here I have a created bell curve. I put down the mean, and this is my negative 1 standard deviation. This is my negative 2 standard deviation. Right now, they want us to find something that is the probability for us to have more than negative 1.5 standard deviation above. So this is 1, negative 1, this is negative 2. Negative 1.5 standard deviation is going to be between them. And since this is greater than, I'm talking about the right hand side. So we're trying to find the probability, the area of this bell curve on the right of this green line. So if you use a calculator, okay. So I'm gonna use the same thing. Second, distribute. Go to normal CDF. Now this, my lower bound is gonna be negative 1.5. Okay. My upper bound, where am I going to the right? I'm going towards positive infinity, right? So that's what I have to type it down. But I don't have positive infinity, so I'm going to use 10 to the power of 99. Okay? 0 stays there, 1 stays there because we're talking about standard normal distribution. Paste. There you go. The answer is 0.933, I believe. It's approximately 0.933. Okay? Last one. I'll do part D. I'll leave E for you guys. I'll leave part E for you guys. You might want to talk to me when you're done with that. So let's do D first. Let's do D. Our last example. Probability for Z is less than 0. So all this time we've been talking about Z. It is just saying how many standard deviation you are away. Let's say today I have Z equals 0. I'm talking about 0 standard deviation away. Away from what? Away from the mean. So what I have here is actually a bell curve. My mean is here. And since I am 0 standard deviation away, but I'm looking at less than 0, I will have to shade everything on the left. And we know that the mean is going to cut this bell in half. So the answer to this question without using a calculator is going to be 0.5 straight away. If you're not sure why this is so, you might want to review on the previous videos. Okay, try part E. I recommend you to sketch it and let me know if you need help. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.